Hello guys, my name is LK Scott and welcome to the Scariest Fearless Woman segment of On a Journey To. I really hope that you enjoy this segment. Just letting you guys know that this is a no judgment free zone. So when you watch this video, please be respectful of everyone who is on this video and make sure we're not gossiping about people, because when people gossip about people, we have issues coming our ways. So I hope you enjoy this segment. Enjoy.
Hi, my name is Destiny Bowman, and I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, and I am 22 years old, and I am on a journey to spiritual healing. When you look back over your life, what are some lessons that you have learned? Some lessons that I have learned is to be selfless, to learn how to take care of myself. I think for so long I have been so nice and so pure-hearted. I care for others before I care for myself. And when I look back at that, did I get the same in return? Not that I asked for it, but when I was in need, basically, was those same people that I was there for, were they there for me? Finance-wise, just there as a friend for me to cry on the shoulder. When I was in and out of relationships and I was hurt, were they there for me like I was there for them? So basically just taking care of myself, and my mental health was just really important to me back then, and I didn't really notice that now. I didn't really notice that until now. So it's very important that I take care of my mental health, that I start being selfless, I start caring for myself, I start worrying about what I have going on in the moment and making sure that I get taken care of, the things that I need to get taken care of before I worry about what other people's problems are or what they're going through or anything like that. Not that I'm not there, I'm there, but I just feel like it's important that I take care of myself. So. Now that you have experienced some things in life, what advice would you give other women? Some advice that I would give other women would be to pretty much be true to yourself. Just make sure you know who you are in the midst of whatever you're going through. For me, I think for so long I tried to be someone that I wasn't, to try to paint a picture for other people to look at me a certain way, and that didn't really go too well. Another thing would be to just make sure as a woman you have someone to lean on. I felt growing up that I really didn't have people to go to and speak with, just because of things that I've been through. Even though I do have a family, I do have someone, even though I do have family that is, there, I didn't feel comfortable going to them and telling them some of the things that I've been through. And I think that's just very important to, have someone there to trust. And I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of people that don't really understand what a person may truly go through. And a lot of people don't really check up on that person to make sure that they're okay. Because a lot of women are silent. I mean, I was one of them. I was silent a lot. I didn't really speak on the things that I, go through. And I feel when I did tell someone what I went through, it was like, don't tell no one. I haven't really told anyone this, but I got to high school. I remember being with a guy. Well, I wasn't with him. It was just friends. We had been talking for a while. Our first time, chilling together, I let him come over and spend time with me. And the first thing that, he did, he came over, he was high. So he came over, we were watching a movie, and then he just started leaning on me and kissing on me. And in that time I like started crying while he was right there, because it just made me feel disgusted, and it made me feel like I was a hoe. I felt like, is this really me? Do this what guys really think of me? And I know I'm not like that, but in the midst, I just didn't know like about what people view me as. And that goes back to, being true to yourself. That goes back to making sure that you have someone to go and talk to, because mentally those things are very, very challenging. There's so many times that I've been depressed because of the things that I've been through. I've been touched and raped by a friend that I was called my best friend. Literally, I called my best friend. I was there for, he was there for me. And then what actually hurt me the most is when I got into a new relationship with my boyfriend now. His mom was told by someone else who knew my story from me being raped by one of my friends. Well, at the time, he was my best friend. They went back and told her about, what happened, and got back to her. She went back and talked to my boyfriend now and was just kind of like, be careful with her, stuff like that. And it just kind of hurt me, because I feel like this is a lot of reason why women don't come out on what happens to them, because a lot of women feel scared and what people will view them as. But at the end of the day, your mental health is so important, and the only way that you will feel comfortable is going to talk to someone. Speak out, speak your truth, let people know like what's going on. Don't hold nothing in, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's about you and making sure you're okay. So that would be my advice to women, is just make sure you speak your truth. Make sure you have someone to rely on. Don't feel uncomfortable. Don't feel like you have nobody. There's always someone out there that you can speak to about what you're going through. Number 3. I'm on a journey to spiritual healing. Like I've discussed before, I've been depressed for so long. I've been in college for 5 years now. When I first got to college, I was in a relationship that I was in for 10 months actually. And that person really put me in a depression because of the fact that it was what other people were thinking, because of what he would go back and say about me, lying on me, putting my name under the dirt. And what he was saying was affecting what other people viewed me as. I started smoking all the time. I started drinking all the time. I was out there with my friends, just didn't care. I wasn't focused on school my freshman year. I started failing classes, so I actually moved back home. Once I moved back home, I was with my parents, and I started back at TCC to finish up my associate's degree. And in the time of that, I was still smoking, I was still drinking, still out with my friends, really didn't care. Was I really focused on a degree? Not really. I just knew that that's what my family wanted. I just knew that at the time I wasn't true to myself. I knew that, it's something I wanted to do because I kept comparing myself to others in my family. You look at my family, you see doctors, you see lawyers, you see teachers, you see, you see police chief and city mayor and all this. And it's just like, I tried to paint a picture for myself to try to fit in with my family, but in reality, I wasn't being true to myself and kind of knowing where I wanted to go in life. It was what I felt that others wanted me to be in life. I think that that is a lot of the reason why my school choices were the way they were, because I wanted to paint a picture for other people instead of a picture for myself. So that was a part of my depression, is just not really knowing who I was, not knowing what I really wanted to go through. Finance-wise, I was struggling. I had no money at the time. I was here and there. trying to find other men to take care of me, talking to guys older than me just because they were taking care of me. And basically, finally, when I got to UNT, of course, I got into a new relationship, and I was still trying to paint a picture for him, trying to make everything seem perfect when everything really wasn't perfect. Especially dealing with mental health issues, with, everything that I have been going through the past, like everything that I went through as a little girl still hurt me, was still bothering me. And I would go to sleep. I couldn't close my eyes because I would still think about those episodes that happened to me as a little girl. Me being a little girl, someone telling you 3-4 years old, old guy, 30-40 years old, telling you that your hole's getting bigger, stuff like that. I remember those things. I would go to sleep remembering what they were telling me, and it's just mentally it's challenging. So now that I am older, now that I am painting a picture for myself and knowing what direction that I want to go in, the journey that I want, especially with having a daughter now, that I know that I don't want her to go through the same things that I went through, me feeling like I have to protect her with everything in me. I pray every night now. It's something that I do for myself. I read my Bible now. I actually write in my journals. I have a prayer journal. Also, I go on fasts throughout the week. So this week was actually my first week that I sat down and actually fast every single day, to pray and pretty much be on a journey of spiritual healing, just because even though I am in a new relationship where I have been taught the right way that a guy is supposed to treat me, even though my daughter has came here and has shown me that this is the way you're supposed to be loved, I still feel like, me personally, I still have to heal, because I don't want to have to put that out on my daughter where, she goes through a lot of things, or I put that out on my new relationship where, I put him through whatever it is because of what I'm going through. I just feel like it's not fair. So I found a way that I could deal with whatever I am dealing with, so that it can help me personally heal from my hurt in the past. I grew up a troubled child, and I've been kicked out the house when I was in the 5th grade. I had to go stay with my aunt. When I got to my aunt's house and I stayed with her for a while, they changed me school districts. I was up there fighting on girls, beating up girls. I got to high school, I'm in fights. If you think about it, I stopped playing basketball. Everybody knew me. I used to play basketball. I used to play volleyball. I was a cheerleader. All that just goes back to me being in a depression, not really knowing the things that I know now. So I think it's just very important for women to find a way to learn how to cope and deal with the things that they go through. And like I said, that's just a part of knowing who you are, staying true to yourself, painting the picture for yourself and not painting the picture for others. Just because of the simple fact is